Well, I'm gonna start. Well, hello everyone. I hope that you're very fine. This is a B2 level real English scenario, and the person who is speaking right now is Edwin Alban, and the topic for today is about exploring fitness, trend, and mental health topics. Right? Um, what I normally do is to make students read this instruction for class. For example, participate actively in every activity. You will gain confidence and fluency. And practice English daily with music, videos, or friends. You will improve faster and speak naturally. And then the final thing that you had to take into account is to enjoy learning through games, teamwork, and creativity. You will have fun and remember more. Those are the instructions for the class, and then we're gonna start with the first activity, that is a vocabulary health wellness match activity. We're gonna do this, if we enter to this link, we let me. Oh my god, I feel like a little buzz. I don't know. I don't know if I have to say buzzy, buzzy, buzzy. Let me see. I had to enter to it in order to see what is going on with the activity. Yes, I entered to the activity. What we're going to do is to let me do rapidly the activity that I am on. What I'm gonna start the activity. The activity is related to the vocabulary we're covering. That is, for example, well-being. What is well-being? Well-being is maybe the state of being comfortable, healthy, and happy. That's the correct one. We have the other word. Holistic is, holistic is like all taking into account all the things related to mental health, to diet, to healthy. And we say holistic is an approach health addresses the whole self, physical, mental, emotional. That's the correct one. And we have balanced diet, a diet that includes the right amount of all essential nutrients. Self-care, other word, other new word is the ability to recognize. It is not action to practice individual takes maintain personal health. That's the correct one. And resilience, the ability to recover quickly from difficulties, stress, and illness. That's okay. And mindfulness, the practice of being aware of present moment, and that's all. So that's the activity for today. That's the gamify activity that we have set on this class. Then I got 100 points, and then I go back to the other activity, that is a reading comprehension activity, and the topic for this reading is about Maria mindful moment. So the student have to read this, and this reading this lecture. If there were 2 or 3, so I divide them by some paragraph in order to make them participate as well. This is not prepared to put here because it was example. When they finish, or when she or he finished, I would ask to them. I would ask to them these 3 questions related to the topic we're covering, like this lecture, and then we're gonna do the listening activity. So we have here 10 tips for better mental health. So what we're gonna do is to watch the video, here, like this one. There are some tips for get a better mental health, like uh, take a deep breath, express gratitude, or to surround with good people, positive people, and to ask for help if you need it, something like this. And what I would ask to them when they finish, normally I give them 5 to 6 minutes, And then when they finish, I would ask them to these 4 questions every student, so how to answer these questions. If they don't catch the idea of these questions, I would tell them that I will clarify, or I would like reform or remake the questions in order to make them understand better what we're talking about in this question. Then I would do the grammar topic, which is about future plans for my health goal. That's the you know the the principal topic for today, for this in this stage. And what we're gonna do is to study will, going to, and present continuous, and the use, examples, and tips. So what I normally do is to make students read these, the first one, the second one, and the third one, all of these, the example, the use, and tips. And when we finish, so we try to, I try to explain to them uh, what uh, what is or what are the uses for will, going to, present, in order to know if they understood very well what we are covering right here. If they don't understand, if they don't understood, so I would I would explain better in other point of view what we're covering right here. We're going to, and I give my own examples in order to clarify their doubts as well. And then what we are gonna do next is to do a short writing time. So we're gonna do is to write 3 sentences with the corresponding given example of the chart, like this one. So the student have to use, in some cases I made the student make the student, or I allow the student to write the sentences without the vocabulary, just with the will, going to, and present continuous. Or sometimes I make the students I allow the students to write with the vocabulary we have studied and the 3 forms we have here. We're going to present continuous. So normally I give them from 5 minutes to 7 minutes in order to complete all the activity. So when they write all the sentences right here, because I normally tell them to send me these 3 sentences in the chat. What we're gonna do is to you didn't write we will I will go to the hospital, or let me reformulate. Let me see. Let me write a bad sentence. I am going to go to the hospital. For example, this question, and let me see. This statement has 3 negative things here. The first one is the capital, because before or at the beginning of the sentence you have to write a capital. If it is you, if it is we, you have to use the capital at the beginning of the sentence. And then what you're gonna do is, remember, if you want to decide at the first, in the case, if you want to decide in the first moment you speak, you say I will, because it's a spontaneous decision, so it's something that you will do immediately, right? At the end of the sentence you have to write a point, a period, in order to complete the sentence. And that's all. We have completed all of this one, and then when we finish, then we proceed to go to the other activity. This is a more extended activity, right? This is writing a description of your health and wellness goal. What you are going to do is to write a short paragraph from 5 to 6 lines describing a personal health goal using vocabulary learned. Now the vocabulary definition, for example, what we have studied here is, for example, Let me find out the vocabulary. Let me see. Ready. Let me do ready in order to show them the vocabulary we have studied recently. Let me see. Let me wait for. Let me wait for this ad. Yes. Okay, we have here all the vocabulary. So this is these are the definitions, but they are a messy. You know, they are disorganized. But what we're gonna do is to know the words. You know, holistic is an approach to help that addresses the whole self. For example, I would say in this case, for example, you see, it's like a difficult word to put on in a specific sentence, but the student have to could use whatever who want to whatever he or she wants to do it or to make or to apply. For example, resilience. I had to be resilient, or yes, is I have to be resilient, because resilience is like a noun. Let me see. Re, resilient, resilience, adjective, or let me see. Resilient. The adjective is resilient. You know, the resilient. This the adjective of resilient is the noun. Resilient. For example, I want to write right here. Once time ago, I got a very difficult situation. Health issue. Let me put the health issue. But once my results came out, so I could feel resilient because I could do. So I could feel resilient because I could apply. I could know what were the correct. No. Let me put appropriated medicine for my specific illness. So what I'm talking about is that, for example, one time ago, hace un tiempo atrás, tuve una situación difícil de salud, pero una vez que mis resultados de salud llegaron, yo pude sentir resiliencia, ¿sí? O sea, pude sentir, digamos que me pude sentir mejor, pude sentir resiliencia, que puedo lograr salir de esa situación, ¿no? O sea, por eso la palabra resiliencia es como ser, digamos, sentir, digamos, que un alivio de la situación que está aconteciendo en este momento, ¿sí? Digamos que si siento que estoy enfermo y si me llegan los resultados de mis exámenes y el doctor me dice, no, pues eso es algo normal, eso es algo que se puede curar, tú solo tienes que seguir un tratamiento, pues la persona siente resiliencia y se siente tranquilo. Because I could know what were the appropriate medicine for my specific illness. So that's what I want to try. I am trying to say here. I'm trying to explain here about this word resilient. So that's the idea that the student can use the words, but if they don't know, there are some variables, some like the right directions to how we can use the word, because if we are talking about, this word resilience, resilience is a noun, but in this case to do is you can use, for example, a sentence with resilience. That is resilient, for example, resilience, para ponerlo como una oración. Resilience. Resiliencia is what all people must, es lo que todas las personas deberían conocer and apply once they find in a difficult ¿sí? Resiliencia es lo que todos, o sea, la resiliencia de forma general, porque no podemos poner de resilience, ¿no? Si estamos hablando de forma general, nosotros debemos decir, no, resiliencia. La resiliencia es lo que todas las personas deberíamos de conocer. Pusemos porque la definición del modal verb must es para algo que realmente se necesita, algo fuerte. Estoy enfatizando lo que es esa acción, ¿sí? Estoy enfatizando la idea de que todas las personas deberían de conocer qué es lo que es la resiliencia y aplicar una vez y aplicar esa resiliencia una vez ellos se encuentren en una situación difícil. ¿Sí? Entonces, I could put send here this correction and we have completed, the activity. Right? Let me. No. I want to put this. And then we have, the final activity is a speaking reflection class goal discussion topic. What we're gonna discuss is about what about the class, what about what we have studied in the previous stages, what we have studied today, what are the things that they normally get confused about the grammar, about the use of vocabulary, like the differentiate between adjectives and nouns and adverbs and like connectors, prepositions, it's some students get in trouble with these kind of grammar components and the vocabulary also. We as teacher must tell them or clarify them about this matter, because it's important to them to get on to understand completely the idea of this topic, the idea of this grammar, the vocabulary, and so on. So I have finished this classroom. It was amazing because I took my time to organize little by little, show every activity that I have made here. And thank you so much for having this classroom. And I want to, let me see, I want to close. I want to stop the recording. I stop the